Hi everyone, welcome to the video. It's been a little while since the last video, the last update for the one build, but this is number 5, which I've had in the back burner for a little while. Just had not had time to finish it off, but it's now ready. So let's jump straight in and see what we got. So as usual, you'll have it supplied in the normal way, obviously all compressed up. Once you get it expanded, this is the contents you'll see. So let's go through the ROMs, kind of the main bits and pieces. So for Amiga 500, I think there's just one game, Battle Island or Battle Isle, a couple of data discs that someone requested, so that's been added in. Same for DOS. Someone asked for the original Warcraft, so just drop that one in. Main thing, I guess, as we're going down the list, so Genesis and Megadrive, so actually for the same for SNES. So a few people were asking to split out the Megadrive and Genesis. Obviously Genesis is known in North America, Megadrive everywhere else, and then similar for the SNES and Super Famicom. So in the one build at the moment, you've just got SNES and Megadrive. Obviously this is splitting them out and doing pretty much full sets for each one. So again, this is optional if you want to do this. If you're happy sticking with a smaller set you've got, do that. Like I say, it's optional. If you want to have them split out and have a much larger collection, you can do that. And obviously, yeah, it's up to you. Pinball FX2, notice in here, this is actually, obviously this is already there, but what I didn't realise is what I had there originally was probably about half the games, about 40 odd. Now it's up to 77. I think so. Someone pointed out there are a few missing, so this is an update to FX2 to hopefully now give us a full set of all the tables. I think, and the artwork's been refreshed for this, but we'll see it in a minute when we go into RetroBat. So that's an update. PopCap, new system. It's also a custom system. I don't think this is one that RetroBat support officially, but it's been added in. There's about 40 odd games in here, all set up, ready. Scraped, ready to go. So again, we'll see these in a minute. PSP Minis. Obviously, this was already there, but someone did point out that there are a couple of games, about 5, I think, PSP Mini games that are under Mini, but were actually proper PSP games or full PSP games. So I put together a quick batch file to actually to move these. So I've got a quick show you very quickly here, but we'll run it in a minute. So it's basically going to go in and obviously not everyone may have chose to install the PSP ROM pack, so just in case you haven't, it switches back to the ROMs folder, makes a folder called PSP, goes into that PSP folder and creates the images and videos folders so they're ready. Then goes back to PSP Minis folder and copies out these games. So the actual these actual game files it's copying across. Need for Speed Carbon it's going to delete because that does actually already exist under PSP, so that was going to be deleted rather than moved. And then it's going to do the same for the artwork, and again it's going to delete the artwork for that game but move all the rest. Same for the videos, although the video is slightly different because even though that Carbon game does exist, the video under PSP Minis is a much better video for the video snap, so we're moving that across to erase that one. And it needed renaming slightly as well. So this does the copy and then the rename of that video snap to make everything neat and tidy, and then it'll give you a message saying it's finished and hit any key to continue. So but again, we can see that in action in a minute. So that's PSP Minis, just kind of cleaning up, I guess, moving some games. RetroBat Radio, I'll come to a second. I'll probably do that till last. That's a bit of a random one, a bit of a slightly different. Obviously, it's not a game. As I mentioned, SNES and Super Famicom separating out. And then ZX Spectrum was just a single game. Someone had asked for the Rebelstar Raiders. I think there's 3 games, but the other 2 are actually in a pack. This one was missing, so that's been added in. And then, yeah, like I said, the radio one we'll come to when we have a look inside RetroBat. So let's just get that running, and we'll have a look at these. Okay, something I did forget to mention, that first section there was just, obviously, because we split out Genesis and Mega Drive and also the SNES and Super Famicom, we're going to drag this stuff over. We want to get rid of the existing, obviously, if you choose to move this over. So we need to get rid of the existing Mega Drive. So we've got Mega Drive here, and you can either just delete that, or if you want the option to go back afterwards, if you don't like the change, you can just rename this to .old, something like that, or you could just move it out to another location outside of RetroBat so that you can later go back to it. Same for SNES. wherever it is. So yeah, we've got SNES here. Again, do the same for this, rename it to .old or something, so it's out of the way. So that's the only kind of two bits that I missed on the first bit. So just rename them, otherwise when it tries to copy across, it'll say it sort of found it, and then you'll end up with kind of the updated version and the previous one kind of mixed together. So I'll put it back, so I don't need to do that. But yeah, just a note there. So rename, because these ones are only going to conflict with the Pinball FX one. Obviously, that's already there, and all the others are already there. You just copy over, and if it says overwrite files, just say yes, and you should be good to go. Another thing I did say, didn't I? I did say about running the PSP batch file. So once you've copied stuff over, so the PSP Minis batch file, come into here. So you've got all your games, and somewhere down the list you will have under M the move ROMs. So here's the batch file I mentioned. Mine's going to not do too much because I've already done it. See, it runs moving games, so it's saying these folders already exist, and also it can't find the games because I've already moved them. But it runs through, says finished, then any key continue, just hit a key and it disappears. So yeah, once you've copied everything from here over into ROMs, then go into PSP and double click that to run it. Everything else should be good to go. So yeah, apologies, I missed that bit. So now back to the video. Just give it a second to load. Also, as usual, I'll run it in a window so it's easy to see. Okay, so yeah, I guess let's start with the radio. This was someone suggested this one, so I thought it might be something a bit different to try. So it's basically because this guy was using his retro machine, or I can't remember the machine he had, or a cabinet, but basically running RetroBat and wanted to have it sort of on in the background, maybe play some radio, play some music while he's doing other bits and pieces. So he helped me with this one. So we put this one together. What it basically does is we've got a bunch of radio stations to stream, some American ones, there's some for the UK as well. There's some in here which play kind of the old demo scene, like Amiga style type music. And this one, Game Bytes as well, does sort of game radio. So basically what it does is you go through here, just select it and launch it like you would normally. And what it'll do is it'll just fire up a self-contained portable version of VLC.
Estás escuchando GBR Game Bytes Radio.
And this is Game Bytes. As you can hear, it plays the older game style music. It's quite cool. So hopefully, but I think it's based in Mexico, hence the language. But anyway, you get the idea. And then we can just close it. And because that's a self-contained version of VLC, you can make any changes you want in there, and it'll be saved all within inside the RetroBat folder. So you want to change the graphical equalizer or some of the preset settings in there, you can do that, or the size of the window. You can do whatever you want. What's the other one? There's another. Also, I don't want to play too much music and get copyright on the video. So, but again, you can see it spins up that portable. It starts playing. So I'll just close that before it plays too long. Yeah, so another interesting bit about this is there's an updater for this. So we'd actually, if some of these radio stations, whatever, the stream stops working, needs to be updated, or people want some more radio stations added, we can do that. So there's an update stations item here. But what I'll do first is just to show how it works is it will exit out of here. So we had 12 stations. And you can see how they work. So if I go to my actual folder, radio, so they basically all launch from a batch file, which basically tells it to launch. Actually, we might as well have a look at one of these while we're here. For those that are interested, basically switches to the VLC folder and runs the VLC portable, and then gives it that's a stream to play. So that's how it's quite straightforward. But like I say, so each one of these is a radio station. So if I delete some of these. And then I'll launch RetroBat again. So this is kind of to show what would happen if new stations were added. So let's give the second spin up. So now you can see we've only got 5 games. So basically 5 batch files. So we go in just to confirm that. Make it the active window. So we've got our 5 stations here. You've seen like the KISS ones, etc. have all disappeared. So basically you go to the updates, select this. It will take a second. So basically those batch files and the artwork to go with them, I host online on a server. And what he's doing now is just connecting to that, downloading it, and then copying it into the ROM folder. So it shouldn't take long. And there we go, done. I might try and update in the future and give some kind of a progress bar or something to look at while it's doing, but at the moment it just runs in the background and then comes back. So if we just drop out of here, you still see we've got 5 stations. So we just go in, game settings, and update the game list. Just go refresh. Obviously, you could also close RetroBat and reopen it, but slightly quicker to do it this way. And now we've got 12 again. So we go back in. We've got all the extra stations are there. Well, they're back to how they were. And obviously, like I say, if people request new stations or some of these streams, for whatever reason, change and don't work anymore, we can update that, fix it, and then you can do an update and get them working again. So yeah, that's the radio. Looks like I say a bit different. And I guess just to prove the point, if I go back to where I was, you can see it's downloaded. Where we go? Go back to the radio. You can see all the batch files are back. And just if anyone's interested how it works, in the content folder, which is where VLC sits, here's the batch file that runs to do the update. Have a quick look at this. So basically, it's going to connect to the location where I share it from, which is a publicly shared folder, and it's going to download that and save it as radio.zip, and then 7-zip's going to come along, extract that, and it's going to extract it into the level above and overwrite anything that's there. So we're running it from the content folder, so it's going to jump up a level and extract everything to here. So basically that's what it does. It basically downloads the stuff as a zip, extracts it, and overwrites this, and then when you refresh your game list, the new stuff's there. So yeah, so kind of playing with this with the radio, but also the update function. It works quite well for a small system like this, which are quite small files. Obviously, doing it for a larger set of ROMs may not work as well. So, but anyway, bit of experiment. Again, you can choose to copy it across. You can choose not to. It's up to you. So where were we? I think that was everything on there. So that's the radio. So like I say, the other games will mains that we added were the PopCap games. So that's here. What we've got 44 games here, all ready to go. Full artwork for everything, and also the theme. Luckily, the theme already supported this system, so all the artwork for the actual menus and stuff was there. So here we go, 44 of those games. They work pretty well. Like I said, I think that's the only main new system. Just to remind myself, I think that was the only sort of main new system. Let's have a quick look in the pack here. Yeah, so DOS was extra games. So yeah, all the rest was kind of adding stuff, fixing stuff, and splitting out this. PopCap's the only brand new system. So that's that. Like I say, when you look on the wheel now, you'll have the Genesis and Megadrive. And obviously Pinball FX2 now is up to 77 games, which I'm sure before it was about 44. Something like that. But again, all the everything's in here. And the artwork's been updated, so refreshed. So yeah, all good to go. So yeah, I think that's it for the actual update. That's all the systems. You can basically have an explore through. Like I say, as usual, it's optional, so you can add which bits you want, which bits you don't want to. And as usual, I'll just say when you bring it down, when you expand the zip file, you'll have the RetroBat folder, and you'll have these folders inside it. So I just want to bring this to one side. Also, you've done these before, you know how this works, but it's literally just drag over to install. Because I've got a small window. So you go to your RetroBat folder. Here's the contents of the update pack, and you'd literally just pick this up and drag it over here and drop it, and it will say, I'm not going to do it because I've already done it, but let go there, and if it prompts you to overwrite anything, say yes. So like I say, all the ROMs are in here, so they'll go into ROMs folder. Under the emulation station folder, we've got some config files. So obviously PopCap is a custom one, so is RetroBat Radio, tells it how to run, and then also we've got some config files for Super Famicom, Genesis and Mega Drive, because they're not standard ones. Although, sorry, the Mega Drive is, but because we've changed it and had to split it out, it's got its own individual config file. And under themes, also we've got the 3 themes here. Like I say, the other stuff was additions, and PopCap was already in themes. That's okay. It's just RetroBat Radio we've had to add. So there's some graphics and stuff, bits and pieces for the theme. So yeah, that's it. I suppose the only thing to really address is obviously I think everyone's probably aware now, but basically joined forces with the guys from RGS, which is very exciting. For those that don't know them, obviously come and join the Discord. We're now on the same Discord server. It was their original one. We've renamed to Pixel Nostalgia. So that's the team Pixel Nostalgia. That's the name we're going by now as a joint team. So for the actual builds, the one build still at the moment carries on as it is. That's not going to change just yet. Well, it might do at some point, but just not yet. It's just going to carry on. So don't worry. There'll still be updates set to coming for it. What I probably want to do is, or plan to do next, is have a version of it for Batocera, because the RGS guys, their kind of focus is kind of getting those is preservation. Basically, they have their builds are full sets where possible of all the systems, and they provide that both for RetroBat and for Batocera. So definitely check them out if you want. If you've got enough space and you're the type of person who wants full collections for everything, definitely go for their build. If you've got less storage or you just want a smaller build, a bit more of a curated best of type collection, go for the one build. But like I say, we're teamed up, going to offer the build side by side, so the best of both. And then so I'm working on at the moment the one build for Batocera, but what I'm doing is using their ROM sets from Batocera as that kind of starting point, so that when we get to a point eventually when it's ready, is that it'll be using the same versions of ROMs, the same artwork, etc., as the RGS build, but obviously just trimmed down to that sort of top 100 games ish, roughly per system, depending on system. But then it'll be using all the same ROMs and artwork. So if we have any issues with games or whatever artwork needs to be updated, we can update it once and it'll apply to both builds, so kind of in sync. And then eventually want to do the same with the RetroBat build. So it may be, I don't know, at some point RetroBat version 7 will come out. Also, we've just gone to version 6.3, but I'd imagine at some point they'll release version 7. So that might be the right time to bring out a new one build, and then, like I say, base it on the ROMs in the RGS guys build, so it kind of all matches up and all ties up. So we'll have both the builds. End up, the Nirvana is we'll have effectively 4 builds. So you'd have 2 on RetroBat, one that's full RGS and one that's the best of the one build, and then 2 builds on Batocera, again the RGS full build, and then the one build best of collection. So, and then obviously using all the same ROM sets, obviously one being slightly cut down, just to kind of simplify stuff. So then, like I say, if we make any changes, updates, or there's a game not working that someone finds, we know that we can just fix it and then basically apply that fix to both builds, and everything will be hunky dory. So yeah, hopefully that will make sense. I didn't ramble on for too long, but basically, yeah, we joined forces. It's really good. We're both kind of like working in the same direction. Both had the same approach to retro gaming, so it just made sense to kind of join forces, because I've had people looking at the one build going, I wish I had a full set for this, or if you've got more games for this system. And I just so obviously I was saying, well, these guys over here, they've got full build. If a full build is what you want with full sets, use their build instead. And then vice versa, they had a similar thing. They had people saying, I haven't got enough storage or space for the full sets you offer, which are great, but I don't, or I'm not interested in having full sets. I want a smaller collection, and they would, either send it off somewhere else or send it in the direction of the one build. So it makes sense to kind of join forces, and we can just offer the best of both for everyone. But like I say, not a great deal changes initially. Obviously, the name change, and my Discord will be kind of like winding down, and a lot of all the retro gaming content is getting moved or closed down on there, moved over to the what was the RGS server. We've now renamed it to Team Pixel Nostalgia. So yeah, come and join that, say hello, and you can see what's going on there, get the updates. The guys at the moment on the RGS side of things are working on a big update for their RetroBat build. So that's going to basically bring it in par with their Batasura build. The Batasura build at the moment, I think, has more systems than their RetroBat build, but this soon to come update will bring them more in line. So that's great. And like I say, I'm working on a Batasura build for the one build. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Like I say, I'm still producing these updates for the one build. This is number 5. Obviously, a little bit slower than the rest because obviously been busy with the whole merger of the teams. But yeah, it's all good. Hopefully, everyone appreciates it and understands why we've done it, and hopefully, it's a benefit. There shouldn't be any negative to it. It should only be positive, which is great. But yeah, come and say hello, give you any feedback or any suggestions, and I'll catch you on the next one.